Oh man, so Fantom is up 12% in the last 24 hours, and you guys know here on this channel we're big fans of Fantom and have been following that project for quite a while. So Fantom, how far can it go higher? What's the technical target? And more importantly, what's the longer term fundamental target? I'm going to share both of those in this video. But first, if you like my blend of crypto, fundamental and technical analysis, then please don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. Let's get into the charts. So as you can see, Fantom entered, let's go back out. Always important to remind ourselves of the journey in case you haven't watched some of the previous videos. We entered this massive cup and handle pattern on a rounded bottom, really, on Fantom. Okay, so you can see this massive rounded bottom. We broke to the upside, met that price target. We kind of consolidated a little bit down into this wedge. We broke out of this wedge and entered a downward channel. Okay, now I'm going to come into this downward channel now because that's what we need to pay attention to. This downward channel is reflective of a continuation pattern. Okay, so if I just move us across here back to the 4 hourly, you will see this is a continuation pattern from our initial run. Now, as you can see, the first time we tried to break out, we got rejected back down. So we had to extend that channel. We had a bit more of a longer continuation than we would have thought. But now we got a strong breakout with good volume. Okay, we had the initial breakout, which I showed you. We got to the point here, which is $2.35. Then we came to test down. Now, remember, I drew this line to say this is where we may get some support because that's the high from here. Exactly at that point, we bounced back off. And I said our next price target is the top of the wedge. You guys who were watching would have heard me say that at the top of the wedge is our next target, and that's exactly where we're facing a little bit of resistance now. Okay, so this white line is what we need to fight for. Let's head over to the hourly and we'll be able to see right here, if I just move across and zoom out a little bit, you will see this is exactly where we're getting a little bit of resistance. But you can see we did break through this white line. You can see we've closed above it yesterday in the previous hourly candle, and even in this hourly candle, we're fighting for this level here. If we break this level, what we want to see next from Fantom is the following. So this can either continue to go higher, or an even safer bet is to come, get a retest, and carry on its way. Okay, that's what we want to see from Fantom. Now that means it can also go straight up, but a retest is always stronger. If you come and retest that level and make sure it is support, that's the strongest way to grow in a sustainable way. Now your downside is if we struggle to break the 244, you could come back down to test this level back here at the top of the wedge, or even come back down to this level, which would bring you about here for a bit of support. Okay, so if it needs a little bit of support because it's breaking, it can either test here or test at this lower one here and then head higher. So those are the key areas we want to look at for Fantom. Now, what is the technical price handle on this continuation move? Well, you've got this continuation move and you have this impulse wave here. Okay, so you get this massive push up and you enter the consolidation pattern, which by the way bounced perfectly here at $1.94. So we can confirm $1.94 is strong support for Fantom as well. So that pushed ahead, and then you want to take your measured move, and your measured move gives you a price target here of Fantom on the technical breakout of $3.03, which is why I'm super confident that we'll see a $3 Fantom very shortly, and potentially even imminently, if we can break this level we're at now at $2.46-ish and head higher. We may get a retest, like I said, but we need to break higher and head towards our $3 price target. Now, zooming out onto the daily, back to the daily, just to remind ourselves of where we're at. Let's bring out our EMA ribbon, and you can see just how well Fantom is doing. So if I show you this, you can see we kind of had our run up, came down, tested the EMA, got some support, went back up, came down, didn't even need to touch the EMA ribbon here, guys. So that this consolidation where we got the bounce off $1.94 didn't even touch the EMA. I would have even allowed it to have some more breathing room even into the EMA ribbon. Even if it came down to $1.66 here, you're still bullish on this move, on this upward trend on the daily chart for Fantom. So it just goes to show how much interest there is in Fantom right now, that people were buying this dip very quickly in this downward channel. They were scooping it up at $1.94, not allowing it to get to $1.66. So really good move here upwards, and I think this could really set Fantom up for a move to the high side. Look at the RSI levels, right? So the peak is not near the peak we had here on this move, so you got some room to go on the RSI. Volume is still not the volume that we saw there, so the volume can come in and this can really give Fantom a good push up. So bullish setup on Fantom, looking really good. and it can only head higher. So longer term, what are our price predictions on Fantom? Well, I thought I'd bring up these two interesting pages. The first one is, let's start imagining what Fantom would look like at Solana's current market cap. Because I think we're all agreed that Bitcoin's going to go on a run, right? From a global view on crypto, Bitcoin can go for a run. The total market cap of all cryptos will increase. You know, you could argue that Ethereum is going to do a 3 to 4x, and therefore Solana can at least do a 3 to 5x off the back of it, because it's a smaller project. So, you know, it's not unreasonable for us to expect Fantom can fill in Solana's shoes when Solana goes on another tear, right? We're not even saying that Fantom's better than Solana. Let's assume we can't win that argument, right? And by the way, I'm invested in both of these, so you know, that I don't have any interest in either one versus the other, right? So let's say Fantom could just achieve Solana's current market cap when Solana goes on a 3 to 4x. That would give you an $18 Fantom quite comfortably, which is a 7.5x. Okay, let's be a little bit more ambitious. Let's say now we can reach ADA's current market cap. And keep in mind, ADA is 2/3 of the market cap it's already achieved, right? When ADA was at $3, ADA was a much higher, it was 1/3 higher in terms of market cap, right? So for us to just achieve ADA's current market cap when ADA goes for its run and heads to $10, etc., that is a 10.83, call it 11x, and it will get you a $26 Fantom. So whilst right now our technical target is 13, let's not forget the sight of the bigger picture, which would give you, let's just go back. That was 18 and we had 26. So that would give you, you know, up here on this move, we'd have to zoom out super much. So yeah, that would give you a parabolic run up to 18 here, and then further up to 24, 28 up here, okay? So a lot of room for Fantom to run on the greater scheme of things. In the short term, we've got a good price target to meet on the continuation pattern for $3, and everything is looking quite cushy for Fantom. Let's take a quick look at Bitcoin to see how Bitcoin is running, because as we know, everything is going to rely on Bitcoin. And the important thing to see here on the Bitcoin chart is that we've managed to create a new weekly high candle, okay? And every time we've managed to create a new weekly candle close high, so you can see this weekly candle close, not the wick, the close is a new high, you've gone on to see massive parabolic runs in previous times, okay? So we're looking for another good setup there. We've also got this massive cup and handle, which we've been pointing out, which you can see very clearly on you can see it very clearly here on the daily chart. You've got this massive cup and handle pattern, which I've mentioned gives you a 75,000 price target on Bitcoin in the short term, right? This is not a long term. And in the long term, this could head much higher on Bitcoin. Now, you also notice you've got this massive purple wedge, which if you break out of this would give you a crazy price target. Let's see what this does. Let's see what price target this gives you, because we broke out from about here. That gives you a higher price target of 85, okay? So the first price target of the cup and handle gives you your 75. Your bigger wedge, which is, you know, we've still clearly broke this bigger wedge to the upside on the daily chart, gives you a target of 85. So everything is suggesting Bitcoin's got a lot of room to move to the upside, and all the charts on all the different timescales are giving you good confluence. Let me just head down to the 4-hourly just for completeness. And you can see on the 4-hourly, we entered this wedge, and you can kind of see we're bouncing up and down, got a bit of a fake out to the downside, fake out to the upside, and we're kind of hovering here along. I mean, we can extend this line. You can even manipulate this wedge slightly just to fit the pattern a little bit better. I'm not going to bother for now. But you can see the premise is the same. We're hovering around in this wedge. Your downside risk on Bitcoin is that you could head down to the bottom of this wedge at 58. I would even argue you could come down to test at 54 for this next support line, and even the neck of the cup at 52, 53 level on the downside, okay? So, I mean, that kind of situation is if, you know, the ETF, futures ETF, which gets announced today, ends up, you know, being a bit lackluster or anticlimactic, people start selling the news. I could see a little bit of a downtrend, at least within this wedge, if not falling down to 54, 53 level in here to come get some support at the neckline. Now, in the bullish situation where we don't see any of that, what we could see is we could just start now heading higher from here. So you can either head higher, come get a retest, and head straight back higher, which would head towards your initial breakout here. We need to get to 65 first, right? Which is the small target on this 4-hourly chart for this wedge. If we can reach that 65, that will give you your all-time highs, and then we can start heading towards the target from the cup and handle pattern of $75,000 on Bitcoin. So Bitcoin's all looking really good. Volume is good. RSI is okay. It's not redlining. It's just kind of hovering, taking a bit of a corner, and it's definitely got a move left in it to the upside on the short-term time frame. Let's take a quick look at Ethereum. And you'll know Ethereum has created this massive cup and handle pattern, which we've spoken about, with neckline at about 3,630. Now, what happened is from this neckline, we've got the price target of $4,500 per Ethereum. Okay, so that's 4,500. Now, what we want to see, what we can see actually happening, if I can move this across there, is we got our breakout, but then we got a bit of a rounding off. So we've come to test the neckline, and you guys will know this is not an issue. As long as we get a bounce from this neckline here, you can get more of an impulsive move to the upside once you come and collect your support from this level. Okay, so you want to see some support here coming in. You want to see us bouncing off this neckline. If we lose this neckline, then you're going to come down to 3,400, which is the bottom of this shoulder, and then obviously to the bearish side, even you can even come down to the bottom, which I don't see happening, but just so you guys know, at 2,677 at the bottom of the head. So what I'm expecting to happen here is us to collect support, which we can kind of see. Let's head over to the hourly, which we can kind of see. We've bounced off this neckline once, and second time almost creating a bit of a rounded pattern, and we should be able to head higher now, breaking through the resistance at 3,968. It's the 3,968 which is giving it a little bit of trouble. If it can get some momentum to push through that, we will be good. Now let's go back out on the daily time frame on Ethereum, because what we want to look at is this. What we can see now is when during our head and shoulders pattern, the first part of the shoulder penetrated the EMA ribbon. The head broke the EMA ribbon. The bulls came in and brought it back up, okay, and created the second shoulder on the head and shoulders pattern. Now that we've broken out, it's really important that we get above this level here, okay? This 3,968 level, you can see there's a bit of resistance here. It's had a couple of days fighting at this level before, and that's exactly when we got sent back down as well. So really important that Ethereum fights this battle and wins it, which is probably why we're seeing it come back down to the neckline for a bit of support to go and muster up the strength to fight for this level again. You can see the EMA ribbon starting to expand, which is a bullish sign. You can see that we got a perfect bounce here. We didn't penetrate the EMA whatsoever, okay? So even if we came down a little bit to come collect some support, that's perfectly fine. We wouldn't flip bearish. We'll still say bullish on the EMA ribbon. So that would be a nice upward trend for Ethereum ready to break through. Let's take a quick look at Bitcoin dominance before we wrap this video up. And you can see Bitcoin dominance is still forming this W pattern, okay? And we're not far off now. A couple more days and we'll be testing this neckline to see if we're going to get an explosive move in dominance to the upside. Now, remember, this could specifically tie in with Bitcoin running towards our 75,000 and 85,000 price target, okay? So this is all setting up nicely in terms of a Bitcoin. Not so great for altcoins, but like I've said before, you don't want to be timing your altcoin entries. You're going to get a little bit of pain in altcoins / lack of movement, as we can see here everywhere. It's all zeros and ones, right? You're not getting massive movements apart from Fantom. So yeah, that's the dominance. So the dominance is looking strong. Everything for Bitcoin is looking strong, and altcoins are naturally going to move slower, right? So Fantom is one of the few that has continued to move, and we know what's happening with Fantom. We've got our price target of $3. You know what my view is in terms of the more fundamental picture on Fantom. I can't make my opinion any more clearer. I think they've got some great projects on the network. DeFi, total value locked, is starting to increase on Fantom. Use cases are increasing. You can even buy NFTs on Fantom. And I think the adoption for Fantom has only just started. Please don't forget, like I'm going to continue to mention this week, you've got the Abu Dhabi Developer Conference at the end of this week. Please don't get caught up trading this on a small time frame and ending up being the victim of buy the rumor, sell the news, okay? Similarly for Bitcoin, if you're trading that coming up to the launch of the Bitcoin ETF futures today, please be careful. You could easily see a little bit of a pump or shake out to the downside as people get excited, extra money comes in, and they get shaken out because of buy the rumor, sell the news. So please be careful, trade safely, trade smartly, and that's always the way to go, right? And again, I want to emphasize this again. You're seeing a lot of people now rotating out of altcoins into Bitcoin. That's not something I'm doing. If that's what you want to do and you have experience doing that, by all means, go ahead and do that. I've always mentioned I'm not somebody that wants to time this market, right? I'm in my high conviction plays. I'm not selling them, and these are cheap prices, if anything, to be buying more altcoins for me. Happy with my Bitcoin position, always trying to add more through fiat currency when and as I can. and that's the strategy I'm taking in this market. Bitcoin still, in my opinion, got a massive move up. Like I've said, 75, 85 are the preliminary targets, and then from there, much more. Of course, you've heard of the higher price targets. Fantom, lovely setup, really like the charts, really like the fundamentals around it, and we'll continue to watch it on this channel. So if you like this type of content and you like my perspective, please don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. If you want me to do any technical analysis or fundamental analysis on your favorite coins, then hit the join button down below. You'll become an exclusive member of this channel. You'll get access to some special emojis where you can spam your favorite altcoin emoji in the chat. But more importantly, you'll get access to our community tab, which is for members only, where you can ask questions and, pose to me, can you do some technical analysis on this? What do you think your price target is on this type of coin? Can you look at this coin? What's your opinion on this project? I'm happy to take those over in the community tab. So thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you in the next one.